Welcome to the Holiday Decor Podcast, your source for the year-round celebration of holiday hope and seasonal cheer. To help you usher season's greetings into your home, here's your host, Ann McDonald.
Welcome to another episode of the Holiday Decor Podcast, where we unravel the mysteries of, this week, we're going to tackle the mysteries of opulent table settings. This is Ann McDonald, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Do you have a large home that you need to get party ready this season? Do you have a house that's over 3,000 or 4,000 square feet, and you're thinking to yourself, I do not know where to start? Well, if that's the case, we have an exciting free training just for you. And this free training is going to help you decorate your large home, church, or property without busting the bank or spending countless wasteful hours trying to get everything done. So join us for our upcoming free exclusive webinar, How to Decorate Your Party-Ready 4,000 plus square foot space, where you and I will unpack the secrets to stylishly elevating your holiday decor this season on a budget. We're going to train you just like we train our professional holiday decorators. So don't miss this opportunity to elevate your holiday space. If you're responsible for decorating the church this year, or you're decorating your friend's house or your own home, and it is a large space, don't get overwhelmed. Go right now and register for your free ticket at our upcoming webinar at www.holidaydecorhome.com. That's right, go directly to www.holidaydecorhome.com. Today, you and I are going to dive deep into the secrets and keys to creating a fabulous holiday look that will leave your dining guests in awe. Yes, even the guests that come for a casual buffet. Before we get started, I do have a question for you. Have you ever gone to someone's home and wondered how did they get their holiday table to look that good? Well, let me tell you something. I have. In fact, I actually had this experience after I was asked to design a table for a 50th wedding anniversary. And can we be honest? It was awful. It was flat. It was ugly. And I thought it was going to be amazing. So that's why I wanted to tackle opulent table settings demystified in this episode. All right, so step one. Here's the thing that we need to embrace in our journey to actually getting an opulent, beautiful table for our holiday home. All right, now I actually have a free template for you. If you head on over to holidaydecorhome.com and head to the blog/show notes, where I'm actually giving you a template that I normally reserve for our professional certified holiday decorators. That is how important this week's topic is to me. All right, so let's dive in. The first thing is I actually have a 3-step system. So I want you to write this down. This 3-step system that we're going to uncover in today's podcast is actually called Type Table Topper. Go ahead and say that with me right now. All right. Even if you're doing the laundry, you're walking the dogs, wherever you are listening to the podcast right now. My 3-step system is this, and it is tried and true. Type Table Topper. Say it with me. Type Table Topper. All right. So before we get into the elaborate details, let's talk about the foundation of a great table setting. We have to start with a clean and spacious table, but we also have to start with a type of table that we're going to set. Is this going to be a buffet, a formal sit down, a casual luncheon? So that's one of the most important decisions that we actually have to make at the outset, because that single decision will actually determine the other elements of the fabulous and opulent table setting. All right, so let me ask you a question. What kind of table do you want to design during today's podcast? Do you want to design a formal sit-down table? Do you want to design a fabulous multi-height buffet station? Or do you want to design kind of a mix, a great table where you can actually have friends come in and get up, get their food at the buffet station, and then sit down where they actually have their own place setting? Well, that's actually one of the most important decisions that you and I are going to make when we are coming up with our opulent table designs. So the first thing is, what type of table are we going to use? Okay, now the second step. Now, here's what's kind of silly. People are like, what is a type? What is a table? And what are you talking about, Anne? Well, the second piece is it's the actual table, friend. Okay, how many of you have like a kitchen table? You have a dining room table. Maybe you have a craft table. Maybe you have a picnic table like I do outside in the backyard. Maybe you have some folding tables that you bring in and you use those sometimes when you have overflow guests, especially during the holidays. So the next step to this whole process of Opulent Table Settings Demystified is actually determining the table. Is it round? Is it square? Is it rectangle? Okay, now I know that may sound silly, but it's a very important step in the process to design. Why? Because that actually determines what kind of dinnerware, glassware, barware, chargers, plates, glasses, silverware, that actually determines what we're going to be able to use on the elegant tablescape. One of the first things I discovered when I was using folding tables for large-scale events was I couldn't actually use regular-sized chargers and have them seated across from each other. Why? Because they were bumping each other. So the first step, what's the first step? You're going to determine what the type of table we're going to set. Okay, what's the type for you? The second is we're actually going to decide on the actual table. Right? Once we have the actual table determined, then we're going to step on to the third part, which is the topper. Now, once we get into the topper, now we're talking all the fancy stuff. One of the biggest secrets to a fabulous holiday look is actually how you handle the topper. Now, do you know that there are actually 3 different types of toppers that we can use depending on, you guessed it, the type of table? Okay, I hope you're having fun with me today, friends, because when I train on this, I actually spend close to 3.5, sometimes 4 hours walking the professional designers and decorators through this process. That's why I wanted you to say, type table topper with me. Say it again, type table topper. Okay, so the first one is type. What type of table are you going to have for this holiday season? All right, let me know in the chat. Second is the table. Which table are you going to use? Are you going to use a folding table, your kitchen table, a dining room table, a square table, a rectangle table? That's the next decision that we have to make. And then finally, we're going to get to the fun stuff, the beautiful stuff, the opulent stuff. And that's called the topper. All right, so we're going to take a quick break for our Tinsel Time feature this week, and then we're going to spend the rest of this episode unpacking the beauty and the fabulousness that makes opulent tables absolutely amazing. All right, we'll be right back after our Tinsel Time.
Welcome to Tinsel Time, where we enjoy something extravagant every week just for fun. Would you like a fancy and fabulous way to make your holiday tabletop sparkle? A top request Anne gets from clients is for the sparkly formal table. Now, it takes some effort, but it is a memorable holiday happy fest. Let's see how she does this. First, layer an upholstery weight designer fabric as your main tablecloth. Then layer programmable sparkly lights hiding all battery packs, remotes, and wires. Then layer tulle over the lights in either a sheer opalescent or color to match. Finally, set your table, making sure the lights are appropriately placed to enhance and not distract the formal diners from their chargers, plates, meal, and conversations. Now, this is a time-intensive fancy tip and takes some patience. However, it supremely elevates the dining experience, especially for sit-down formal dinners. Depending on how you program the lights, you can magically switch colors to match specific courses during the meals. Yes, this is completely over the top, but at Tinsel Time, extravagant is the name of the game. Finally, set the table and let the light show commence. Formal and very fancy, you can even set these to music. Great for formal dinners with fun people. See a few pictures in the show notes at holidaydecorhome.com.
The best part of any table you're going to set to be truly opulent is actually the foundation. Hi, this is Ann McDonald, and welcome back, where in this week's episode, we are unpacking Opulent Table Settings Demystified. And no joke, now that we've decided on the type and the table, and we're all about the toppers, I want to give you one of my best tips for setting a spectacular table. Now, have you ever been at a party or sat down at a table and it just feels like there's no padding on the table, or it just kind of feels not very elegant, not very lush? Well, one of the keys to you setting a fabulous opulent table setting is actually a high caliber foundation piece. That's the piece that goes on top of the table, but underneath the actual tablecloth. Now, quick tip for you. Do you know one of my favorite things to use is actually a mattress pad? Yes, I said it. It's a mattress pad. Now, here's the thing. The old mattress pads sometimes are some of the best because they're just thin enough. You know, the new ones that you buy nowadays can sometimes be too thick. But one of the things I like to do is I like to actually use mattress pads, and then I will connect them so they're super tight over the table with little clips so that they're super tight on the table before you put the tablecloth on top. The mattress pad gives it an extra cushy feel, and it feels very elegant and very soft, and there are no hard corners. Now, that's one of the things that if you don't know about, you might take some practice time to get the mattress pad really tight. But think about it. It's padded, it's quilted, and it provides a nice soft landing space. Now, here's a key before you put the tablecloth on. Make sure that that mattress pad is tight, okay? Again, we go under the table and we use clips to attach the mattress pad really well. All right, so that's the first part. That's the foundation piece. Now, if you have a really special antique dining table or a family heirloom, you're going to want to make sure that you have some waterproof type of protection, especially if you're having a big sit-down party or you're setting it up as a buffet table. Now, I've known people to even use diaper pads, but what I like to use are these inexpensive plastic-coated tablecloths. I put those oftentimes on top or just underneath the mattress pad, depending on what type of table we have. Okay, so those are the base layers. The first thing is you get your table, make sure it's stable and sturdy. Next, you might want to put down a plastic tablecloth so that you have some form of protection in case one of your guests spills something. Next, we put down a mattress pad or something padded. You can even use a formal table, a table pad, though I don't actually like those for the super over-the-top tables, but we'll talk about that another time. And then you're going to put down your tablecloth. Now, I talked about this way back in 2020, but I want to share with you one of my best tips for fabulous tablecloths, and that's using upholstery weight designer fabric. Now, a lot of times I will go on to online sales, or I'll go to warehouses, or I'll go to places where they're selling discount fabrics in bulk. And I will buy 5 to 7 yards of gorgeous designer fabric, and I will actually use that unsewn for my tablecloth. So our first 3 layers, a plastic protector, a mattress pad or a table pad, and then a beautiful chunk of fabric for your tablecloth. Now, what do we do next? Well, the next thing I want you to think about is the importance of color. Now, if you're having a fabulous, fancy, formal sit-down dinner, you're probably going to use a very consistent and elegant and matching color palette. But one of the things I like to do for over-the-top opulent table settings is pull out the color wheel and look to put glasses and stemware, plates and silverware, and napkins in what's called the triad color. Okay, it basically, if you look at a color wheel, it makes the shape of a triangle, and it's called a triad. So you might get one color on one side of the color wheel, another color on the other side of the color wheel, and then a third color down at the bottom. Now, I actually like to use this color wheel approach to shop for fun glasses and things like that. And again, you can get these at discount stores. They don't always have to be over the top. I love the mix of the high and low. So that's the second piece. It's really amping up the color, use the color wheel, and go into the triad color scheme. Now, the third part is obviously the dinnerware and the glassware, like how we set it. Now, there are lots of tutorials about how to actually set things, but one of the key components to setting your table with your dinnerware and your glassware and your napkins is actually to think in terms of height. Okay. Now, I have an entire free training for you on fabulous table settings. Now, you can go ahead and find that on the website at www.holidaydecorhome.com. You go into the training tab, and that video is right there on the training tab. Now, I made this video, I think in 2015, and it is still an absolute client favorite. And you'll actually see how I put the pads on the tables and how I actually use different things to get the different heights once we've got the tablecloth set. All right, now, can we talk napkins for a minute? There are two things I want to share with you that are kind of my hidden tips to really take these tables over the top. The first is a unique charger. Now, how many of you know what a charger is? A charger is the thing that you put on the table that sits underneath the dinner plate that doesn't get changed if people change plates, like they've got a salad plate or a dessert plate. The charger remains on the table the whole time. It's kind of like a frame. And I love using all sorts of different types of chargers. Again, go to that free training on the website at www.holidaydecorhome.com. Click on the training tab and you can see samples live in video format. All right, it's the chargers, and the other thing is napkins. Now, I love to use upholstery fabric and interesting fabrics to actually create my own napkins. Now, one key when you do this, you're going to have to get over the whole perfectly pressed napkin thing. All right. Now, I know there's a place for beautiful white antique linen napkins. I have some of my own. Absolutely. I love it. But it's so much more fun when the napkins can be part of the interesting tablescape. And this is what really takes it over the top. So my quick tip for creating your own napkins is actually just take that upholstery fabric, make sure and wash it first. Yes, the wrinkles are okay. It's actually part of the look. And then use a pair of pinking shears to cut the napkins to the size that you want. So I like big napkins, especially when we're doing buffets so that people can drape them over their lap, or I like big napkins because we can make nice, more interesting visual displays with them at each of the individual place settings. So napkins, you want to learn how to fold them so that they look interesting. One of my favorite ones this season is actually the Christmas tree fold. Again, we'll make sure and have a sample for you on the show notes. Okay. Now, the final one is actually lighting and ambiance. So once you've got your centerpiece done, you've got all of your tabletop, you've got your plates, your glasses, your silverware, all of that kind of stuff. You do want to consider, in order to take your table over the top, I love to use uplights and little fairy lights, not only in the centerpiece, but also in and around the individual place settings. All right. Now, if you would like more information on how we do this, one of my favorite things in the whole world to do is to set a fabulous table. And again, have you ever set a really bad table? Well, I have. Literally, I set one for the party and I was like, this is so bad. We've got 100 people coming to this party. I was charged with setting the tables. I thought they were going to be amazing and they were horrible. They were absolutely horrible. So if you go to the website, you're going to see pictures of the before table that I did and then parties after that when I set really opulent and fun and fabulous tables. So make sure that we know what your favorite thing about setting a table is. This podcast is designed to really bless you and to encourage you. All right, friend, make sure that you are signed up over on the blog. You're signed up for the free trainings and make sure to take advantage of our upcoming webinars. This is Ann McDonald, and don't forget that your holiday table can be made even more special by adding personal touches and keepsakes. You can even put name cards and individual things next to individual guest names. Handwritten notes, small party favors. Those things can make your table feel even more inviting and intimate. All right, and there you have it. The secret keys to creating fabulous holiday table settings. What are they? First, make sure and employ my system. The type, the table, the topper. And then remember, it's all about layering the details, making fun with the colors, and setting the ambiance with unique accessories and lighting. This holiday season, don't be afraid to get creative and let your personality shine through in your table settings. How fun would it be to spend a day working on your holiday home design? What would it be like if you could actually create a storyline and a color story for your holiday home? Well, we have an opportunity for you that is new this year called Holiday Decor Live. My team and I have an entire day set aside where you can come in and out and workshop with us and learn how we create fabulous, beautiful, stress-free holiday homes. We'll be sharing with you our happy holiday decorator system and the same process that we train our professional and certified holiday designers in. You can find out more information about the upcoming Holiday Decor Live Masterclass on our website at www.holidaydecorhome.com. Don't miss this one, friends. On January 1st, you're going to be sad if you missed this year's Holiday Decor Live. We have a seat with your name on it. Again, you can find out more information at holidaydecorhome.com. This is Ann McDonald, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. Make sure to check out those show notes at www.holidaydecorhome.com. I want to invite you to subscribe, rate, review, and share the Holiday Decor Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere awesome podcasts are found.
Thank you for listening. For more information and tips on how to turn your home into a place of joy this holiday season, please visit holidaydecorhome.com.